What is up, guys? Good evening, I should say, in my time. Looking at US 30 here on Asian session. Since you guys, some of you forgot that you can actually trade Asian session. US 30 really doesn't have too much of a setup. I was kind of looking at this setup down here. I see US 30 reaching a support everywhere at over here. And I kind of had this trade idea here for buys. But usually it doesn't pump till like 9, but it's looking like it's starting a little bit sooner here. So if we get a little bit of a pullback there, I'll see if I can take some entries, even though we do have a little wiggle room here for some, um, for like a trade here. But let me see if it pulls back just a little bit, and maybe we can jump in right before 9 o'clock. Yeah, there's that little pullback that it gave just then there. Let me take two small positions here to see. Yeah, I'm gonna take two small positions, and I'm gonna see if we can grab like 10 or 20 points out of the market tonight, because okay, so US 30, guys, can be traded during Asian session. For those of you that aren't aware, those of you that work New York session, you're sleeping London session most of the time, you can trade Asian session. It's slow. It's a slow session, but can you trade it? Yes, it can be traded. You just have to hold on to your moves a little bit longer than you probably like to, so that you can grab something out the market. You know what I'm saying? So this is just a quick buy here, quick scalp in this trade. The only thing I would say I don't like about Asian session, besides it being slow, is that sometimes the setups are sparse. That's the only thing. Like in high volume sessions, there's a lot more setups that can be caught. In low volume sessions, it takes time for you to wait for the market to kind of balance itself out. It has to be in a specific area for you to feel confident about the setup. It's kind of hit or miss sometimes, and it just takes a little bit more patience. So that's the only thing about US 30. But like I said, around 9 o'clock, that's usually when you get some moves. Like I'll usually, like if I plan on trading Asian, I'll probably start looking at Asian probably around like 7:30. Yeah, probably around like 7:30. And then I'll look for a setup there. Um, my face is super shiny right now, guys, because I just did my skincare routine for the night. I will be hopping into bed in a little while here. So I just say, you know what? Let me do an Asian session trade. Let me record it and show you guys real quick that you can trade this session. It's just that don't expect to take big moves. Don't expect it to be fast. Also, the setups may not be as like high probability as like New York session or London session even. You know what I mean? So it just takes a little bit of time, and you just gotta let it play out. So here we are on yesterday. So let me give you guys a breakdown of why I took a small buy here. All right. So this morning was beautiful. This morning's trade was great. If you missed out on it, you can catch it on my YouTube channel. I did upload it this morning, this live trade. Now, I did not catch this entire move, but this was my analysis for the day. And as you can see, this thing just ran and ran and ran and ran and ran all the way down. This is the area that I got out of the trade. And as you can see, this thing just pumped all the way down, breaking the zone that I had there, and just continued on down. So super good trade. 371 points from our entry area. Waited on the pullback, and it moved nicely, right? So now we're kind of, I expected some sort of pullback. It did give a pullback, but it didn't come all the way up like I thought it would. It came kind of halfway. So let's go to the 30-minute time frame here real quick. So we see price bouncing on this area of support right here, right? And if I look left, there's like, why is it stopping here? There's really nothing stopping. It should continue down. In fact, tomorrow, if this thing doesn't dump through Tokyo into London tonight, most likely we'll probably be looking for it to continue selling off for tomorrow to see, because I'm not understanding why we stopped. We gave not much of a pullback, which means the selling pressure is very strong, and there's a good chance that we could very well continue bearish here, because I don't really see why we stopped here. We are testing it, but it's probably just because, the market was slowing down around that time. So If we don't break this low, here to continue down to retest these lows here, there's a good chance that we fly, that we go flying all the way back up and we retest this entire move here. This was a big drop, and a retest of some sort is due, especially since we've been very bullish for the last several weeks. It's time for either a dump or a pullback. So that's what I'm looking at. I'm looking for price to, because the session is so slow and there's usually not much to look forward to. There's a good chance that we just play around here and we just continue to just bounce at this area here for the night before we actually do start continuing down, or we start making our move all the way back up for tomorrow. So I'm pretty excited to see what it does, because today was so good. I can't imagine it getting any different than that, right? So are we in drawdown here? Yeah, we're in small drawdown, very small drawdown, not a big deal. All right, but yeah, we are due for some sort of pullback here, even though it's bearish pressure right now. I do see us pulling back to some degree and catching a move here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pause the video, let this thing play out, because it's going to take a while. Even though 9 o'clock is around the corner, I'm going to pause it for a little bit, let it play around a little bit. And once we get into a little bit of profit, or we start coming to stop loss, I'll come back on and let you guys see how the trade is playing out. So for now, we're in a small $300 drawdown, looking for price to make its way back on up. This would have been the best entry right here, where price is right now. I didn't think it was going to pull back like that again, but it is. So just going to let this play out and then see what we get out of this move. So I'll be back in a second. All right, so it is 9:09. We are finally pulling up into profit here a little bit. So we just got into profit, or coming out of our spread area here. So let's see if US30 can pump up to give us a quick move and grab some profit out of the market. Like I said, it takes a while, guys. You just gotta let it play out. Just kind of grab some popcorn, turn on your TV, watch a little YouTube, play with your kids, just kind of set the trade and kind of go relax, because it's gonna take a while before it plays out. And that's just agent session for you. Is it possible to catch moves? Yeah, but it's just gonna take you a little bit of time. So I'm gonna let this trade play out a little more. We'll see if it pumps up here. We'll see where the profit is at after a couple minutes, and then we'll see where we decide to exit the trade, either with a win or with a loss. So I will keep you guys posted. All right, guys, it is 10 o'clock. As you can see, we've been sitting here for a while. Finally, the trade is finally pushed up here. Before you guys freak out, I already know in the comment section, oh, hit your stop loss, hit stop loss. First of all, as you guys should know, if you don't already know, I always trade with a mental stop, number one, and number two. So that doesn't mean that this is actually my stop loss. It just depends on what I see when I'm on the charts. That's number one. Also, number two is the reason why I didn't freak out when price broke below this area here is because that's just a wick on the higher time frames. Most likely, if it rejects and the candle closes above the area, most likely it's just a wick and it's going to possibly go back up the other way. So that's the reason why you guys don't see me exiting this position. This is because once it pushed, it did not close below, it rejected, and I'm looking for it to come back to retest those highs. So we still have a ways to go, still waiting. I'm sitting here watching YouTube videos while this thing does this thing. So we're finally pushing up here. So gonna wait and see if this pushes up and hits this area here, and then we'll look to take profit at that point. But that's gonna be the quick trade that we look for tonight. And we've been here for roughly an hour and 20 minutes, 15 minutes, something like that. So it's taking a while. I don't typically like to hold trades this long, but when you're trading a slow session, you have to be patient. You have to let it play out. You kind of just have to just chill and let it do its thing. Okay, so I'm gonna let this play out a little bit longer here. Hopefully we're not sitting here for another hour, and then we'll wrap it up, and then you guys can see that you can actually trade agent session. You just got to be patient. That's all that takes. All right. So let's let this finish playing out for another few here, and then we'll wrap up the video from there. All right, guys, so it is 10:24, almost 10:30. We are rejecting here for whatever reason. I don't know how much longer this trade is going to take, so I'm not going to record this any longer. It might take us a while to hit these highs, but the point of this whole video, guys, was just to show you guys how, you know, you can still get a setup during Asian session. It just takes a little bit more. So we finally got the push up. We got the push down below. So entries were atrocious. I'm just going to say that right now. The entries were horrible. All right. But if the entries were a little bit better and it pushed up here instead of over here, then it would have been perfect. And we could have, you know, really got a really, really nice entry for a really good trade. But either way, we still were able to push up and grab a couple points out of that move there. Ooh, it's past my bedtime. All right, so that's pretty much it, guys. Quick scalp out of this move here. I'm gonna see if this continues to go up through the night and see if it pushes any more. That would be quite interesting to see if it does do that and it doesn't necessarily go bearish. Maybe we start consolidating and we come down, but it's a tall order. It's hard to say, but either way, it's a good indication that we could be continuing bullish here. So going to let this thing run and see what happens. But either way, that's the video for tonight, guys. I hope you guys got a little something out of it this evening. Asian session is possible, guys. It is possible. Just practice, back test, see when the moves come, see when they happen. I was expecting a little bit more of a move out of Asian session because you do get that a lot on US 30. Not every night of the week, but the majority of the time you can find pretty decent setups. I've seen US 30 push 50, 60, 70, even 100 points during Asian session sometimes. So it does happen. But tonight was no goose. It's probably just kind of setting itself up to see what tomorrow is going to bring. So I'm going to take myself to bed and, you know, see what the market has for my live trade group in the morning. If you guys want to join my live trade group, just see the description box below. If you want to use the broker that I use, you can also use that as well. And yeah, everything's in the description box below, guys. All right, so I'm gonna let this thing run through the night, see what it looks like in the morning, and then go from there. Other than that, that's all I got for you guys on this video, guys. Y'all be good, and I'll catch you guys on the next live trade. As always, it's your favorite female trader, and I'll catch you guys on the next trade. Peace out.